super lame.
Welcome to Marvel vs. DC Mondays, a segment where we talk all about Marvel and DC content. I am Mr. Risker. We give you information pieces about your favorite characters and provide conversation pieces about topics that we enjoy as enthusiasts. Some of the series will be about straight facts, others will be about observation and analysis. Last video I talked about Marvel, so this episode I wanted to talk about DC. While looking back at my videos, I noticed that almost all of them somehow links back to Batman. Because of this, I wanted to give the Cape Crusader a break and see if I can go one episode without mentioning Bruce or Batman. The problem is, Bruce is so deep in the mythos that you could probably do an entire series called 6 Degrees of Batman and it would be just as crazy as 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. So, I randomly picked Booster Gold and here I will discuss the character and why he has a mind-blowingly tragic existence. Real name Michael John Carter, Booster Gold debuted February 1986 in the #1 issue of his own comic. He was born in Gotham City in the 25th century. He grew up poor due to his dad's gambling problem, and when he became a star athlete, he threw matches to help his father and lost his chance at pro football. Desperate for reliving the glory days, while at work in the museum, he steals a plethora of super items, including a power suit and Rip Hunter's time sphere, gained the ability to travel through time, and became a hero after he went into the 20th century and saved the President of the United States from a shapeshifter called the Chiller and blundered his way into the moniker of Booster Gold. With these items, he gains the typical superhero powers like superhuman strength and durability, flight, and intangibility. Because the short description is now out of the way, I will explain that for his personality, he stole the wrong items for multiple reasons. Booster has the stereotypical sports jock captain personality. He is talented athletically and is prone to gathering attention. For example, one of the first things he did in the 20th century with his new celebrity status was create Gold Star Inc. so he can become rich and famous. However, he soon found out that during time travel, no one can know that you changed time or you cause paradoxes or even worse, ruin the future. One of the biggest examples of his paradoxes will be mentioned later in the video. But first, let's look at some of the other examples of time travel, since Booster isn't the only one meddling with the time-space continuum. On Legends of Tomorrow, notice that with each era, the Legends attempt to stay as accurate as possible, including ensuring the proper people receive credit for their deeds. There are a few mishaps like Sarah kissing every girl she finds attractive, and Heatwave, aka McRory, now has a statue in Washington, D.C. There was also recently the Camelot incident, but luckily that only changed the storybooks and not history itself. One of the worst incidents in time travel that has affected multiple DC continuities is the Flashpoint Paradox. Barry Allen saving his mother not only destroyed his reason for being the Flash. In one universe, it started the war between the Atlanteans and the Amazon and affected multiple people for the worse, including Clark Kent, Hal Jordan, and never mind. In another, it caused multiple changes like Cisco never becoming Vibe, Caitlyn never becoming a top scientist, and the fatal injury of Kid Flash.
You know, the whole reason I did this is because of what you did to my life, to my family, to my mother.
Yeah. Well, one day soon, Barry, you'll be begging me to kill her again.
Now that I gave some examples of minor and major changes in time by members of DC, prepare for something mind-blowing. Remember in the beginning I mentioned that he stole Rip Hunter's time sphere? Well, after losing Gold Star Inc. to bankruptcy, he began to work for Rip and became a time master. Rip was one of the beings that taught him the rules of time travel, but by that time the damage has already been done. During the adventures of Rip and Booster, Rip kept very important secrets from everyone, especially Booster. Rip Hunter is not his real name. In fact, his real first name is unknown, but his last name is. Rip Hunter's actual last name is Carter. If you thought that Rip is a relative, but you thought he was an ancestor, that makes sense, but you would be wrong. Rip was actually born after Michael Booster Gold Carter. In fact, Booster is Rip Hunter's father.
No, I am your father.
Not true.
Which brings me to the tragic existence that I mentioned earlier. Booster is basically on an infinite loop. His powers and everything that happens after the museum heist is a paradox. Booster steals Rip's time machine, goes back in time, becomes famous and conceives Rip, who then grows to become a time master whose feats are enough to land his items in a museum which was stolen by Booster, who then goes back in time and you get the idea.
Tracy, I'm a fraud. Do you know why I came back to the past? It wasn't a fight for justice, it was to get rich, be famous. I was a failure in the future, just like I am here.
On another note, even randomly picking Booster Gold led me to a Batman related city. Batman is linked to so many people that maybe I should do the 6 Degrees of Batman episode. If you want to see that realized or have any other ideas that you would like me to research, let me know in the comments. Until then, this is Mr. Risker reminding you to stay super lame.
Hey guys, remember to check out our last video. To the left, you have the last video that we upload in this playlist, and to the right, we have the video before that. And remember, if you like this content, always feel free to give us a like, thumbs up, and subscribe by clicking on the little icon of the channel. Just consider it. And remember to stay lame.